Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what happens when your Darakaraka is placed in the 6th house, okay, of the Navamsha chart. So you have to see Darakaraka that has the lowest degree in your D1 chart, not in the D9 chart, okay. So that Darakaraka where it is placed in the D1 D9 chart, okay. So we are going to discuss about it in this video, but before it, please subscribe my channel, follow me on Instagram if you want to take my personal consultation. So please check the link in description, okay. So without wasting time, let's just start this video, guys. So 6th house is the negative house, okay. 6th house is the 12th from the 7th house. 7th house of the D1 or the D9 chart shows about marriage, okay, longevity of marriage, how the life partner will be. So this house needs to be strong in order to give you marriage, because if it is not strong, then how will it give marriage? And the 6th house is the 12th from the 7th house, so it is not good. And it is also the house of deaths, disputes, diseases, so it is not generally considered good for marriage. And in the D9 chart, 6th house represents separation from the partner, okay, loss of partner, divorce, and also it represents a partner who will serve you, a partner who can be from the other culture, or there can be some karmic debt between you both. And also it shows that you can get a partner who will serve you, or you will serve your partner. So it can be both situations. In both, you are serving each other and loyal and dedicated also, and your partner can help you to deal with the enemies problems, or can bring problem in your life, or can turn out to be enemy. So it depends, okay, depending upon the dispositor planet. So 6th house of the Navamsha chart shows the divorces, separation from the partner, and all those things, okay. Marital issues, bad marriage, happiness from the marriage, how long the marriage will be, and the problems, bad situations, okay, all these things that can come in your marriage. So this is the 6th house that it shows. Now Darakaraka, that represents your spouse from the Gemini astrology. So 7th house and Darakaraka are same, because they both show about the spouse, what kind of spouse you're gonna have, okay. But Darakaraka is from the Gemini astrology, okay. So it shows that your spouse can first of all be like your enemy, okay. There can be lots of issues, ups and downs in your relationship, in your marriage, okay. But if it is strong, basically benefics, if it is a benefic planet, then your spouse will definitely help you to deal with the enemies. If it is a malefic planet, it can create issues, okay. No matter, malefics are considered good in the 6th house, but still benefic is better, considered better, because it is the matter of the 7th house, and when the benefics rule the 7th house, it is better. But it doesn't mean that malefics will not be good, okay. So it depends upon how much strong the planet is, in which sign they are, and the aspects they are getting. So what is the condition? But now it is the Navamsha chart. Navamsha chart, if a planet is weak in the birth chart, we refer that planet in the Navamsha chart, but now it is the Navamsha chart only. So all the planets, whatever it is, the real position of the planet, and it's only going to happen. So some relationship issues you will definitely face. Your spouse must have gone through lots of ups and downs in your life, or after your spouse enters in your life, you can face some ups and downs in your life. Enemies can increase, or your spouse can be very much sick, or health issues, or you can have health issues after marriage, or your spouse's debt can come on you, or spouse's enemies can harm you. So something like that. But if the Lord is strong, then you both will be able to deal with this situation. If the Lord is weak, then you both will not be able to deal with the situation. Then also depends upon how the 7th house is placed. So only the Darakaraka will not be the thing, we have to see other things also, okay. So Darakaraka shows your spouse will very much love to serve people, can be a healer, okay, social service, helping others, helping other people. All these things your spouse is going to love very much, okay. So now let's see planet, guys. What happens when a planet as a Darakaraka sits in the sixth house of the D9 chart, okay? So if it is Mars, they will work very hard, okay? Your spouse will be someone who will be very hardworking, okay, and too much concerned about career and all that, and also someone who may be very argumentative, okay? But your spouse will help you all the time to deal with the obstacles and problems, and he or she will be the one who will become your support system to help you to deal with a particular problem, okay, to help you to solve any kind of issue in the marriage, okay, to fight with enemies. But if Mars is afflicted here and is not well placed here, then in that case it will make your spouse as your enemy, and there will be lots of fights, arguments between you and your spouse, and all the time like a very argumentative situation can arise with this placement. I hope you understand. So depending upon the dignity of Mars here, we have to see. And your spouse will also be very much attached to their ethics and morals. Sometimes they will become quite impatient, okay. After that, if it is Sun, so Sun here shows a spouse who will help you to burn your enemies. Wherever Sun sits, Sun burns the qualities of that house to some extent, okay. So it your spouse, after your spouse enters in your life, you will notice that your problems are suddenly decreasing, you are having less enemies, people are more friendly towards you, and you are able to pay off your debts, and if you have any problem, health issue, then you are able to sort out that problem as well, so your health is also getting better. So your spouse can prove to be very lucky for you regarding the matters of the sixth house, as your spouse will help you to burn the significance of that particular house. But other thing is that your spouse will be very dominating and will want you to serve them, okay. But your spouse will be very much into helping others, can be in the government job also, okay, so something like that. But someone who is dominating and bold and energetic, okay. Then comes Venus. Venus shows compassionate kindness for animals. So your spouse will be very much compassionate, very much kind for animals, and will help the unprivileged people, okay. Your spouse will also help people who will be in need. So here it gives you a spouse who will be very much devoted towards you. If it is a male, then he will get a wife who is very much devoted towards him and always serving him. So spouse like that, okay. So basically here it shows the spouse who is into the healing service, or a doctor, or a service kind of thing. Lawyer, can be lawyer also. So depending upon the sign, your spouse can be into that field where your spouse is serving people, healing people, okay. Can be in the creative field also, depending upon the sign and all. And now if it is Moon, so Moon shows creative spouse, okay. The mind is always in trouble, the mind is always thinking of the problems. Your spouse will be so much sensitive that they will be very much easily affected by enemies. Like if someone says something to them, like you are not looking beautiful, or you are not looking good, or or your behavior is not nice, so it will affect, like little things can affect you, because sixth house is the house of fear, okay. Fear. So whichever planet sits here, it creates the fear, okay. And Moon is a very sensitive planet already, so your spouse will have fear. Like if it is for example, in your D9 chart, your Moon rules the 7th house, so your spouse can have fear of losing you, fear of someone else taking you away, fear of someone else liking you. So that deep fear can be in the heart of your spouse. So very much sensitive, but very much affectionate towards but very much affectionate towards others, very much affectionate towards the people who are in need, animals, and very much connected to mother. So emotional connection, very emotional spouse you can get with this placement. Okay, after that, it is Mercury. So, Mercury shows the mind of your spouse is constantly active, thinking something all the time in the daily life, like what is happening and how to deal with a particular matter, how to solve a particular problem. So, if any problems comes in your life, your spouse will be intelligent enough to solve that problem, because your spouse will be very clever, have great intellectual strength, and your spouse will also be very much intelligent. Okay, so guys, if you have Jupiter as your Darakaraka, first it shows a spouse who is very wise, who is very matured, who takes the decisions very wisely, the spouse who is like a guru, like a teacher to you, and someone who forgives enemies very easily. Okay, so your spouse will be able to forgive enemies very easily, will not be able to hold grudges. Okay, and one more thing, no one will be able to win over your spouse. And one more thing, no one will be able to defeat your spouse. Your spouse will defeat everyone. Okay, so this is something that is very amazing for Jupiter in the sixth house, that your spouse will always defeat enemies and everyone no matter what happens. So now what happens when Saturn as your Darakarka is sitting in the sixth house? So first of all, it shows that the person, your spouse, will be very much dedicated person, devoted person towards the marriage. Okay, and will serve you. It is a good placement basically, but if we talk about sexual pleasures, it brings some dryness in the sexual pleasure. Okay, and the marriage becomes a duty. Also, it shows that you can settle abroad, travel abroad. But if Saturn is afflicted here, then it can create career issues. For example, when your spouse enters in your life, it can create career issues. Okay, and also sudden transformation can happen in a life as Saturn is aspecting the eighth house, or losses can happen. So, depending upon how Saturn is placed, but your spouse will be of very cold nature, cold behavior, will never express feelings, will never tell you what he is thinking, what he is feeling. So that type of spouse you will get. Okay, so it will become very hard for you to understand what your spouse wants, because Saturn never expresses what Saturn is actually thinking. Okay, so that is why you may have to really work hard to know what your spouse actually wants. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.